Howdy, I was to make a video about Jupiter, but France 4.7 magnitude earthquake 8 minutes ago. Let's check this out first. 28 kilometers west of Valencia, Drôme, Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, France. 12 kilometers in depth. Now that's something. And also notice, light earthquake. It depends where it is. They give them other names. But we might have to start here. Whoa, that's close to the Alps. Yeah, there was written Rhône, the river. Now that's something. That's significant. Bac régional de Mont d'Ardèche. Yeah, very interesting. One user report. That's the first one. Not felt. Okay. Let's see. I have been talking about we have to expect increased seismic activity in the Alps region and Europe in general. Baltic Sea. And also up here. Iceland, Svalbard, and yeah, check it out. There is increased seismic activity. That's Svalbard, 8 hours ago. I want to check this orange one because it's a deeper one. 13 hours ago, 23 kilometers in depth. But we have to check it out. Loch Doon. Yeah, if you are about to fly fish or want to tie flies, check out his channel, Davy McPhail. He has a very nice accent. Here also, Olot Field, Stratovulcano, and quake 16 minutes ago. Yeah, those other ones we cannot click on for some reason. 3 hours ago, Pyrenees. 21 hours ago. But let's talk about Jupiter. This is a developing thing. There might be afterquakes and all this kind of stuff, and we have to expect flooding, rain, and all kinds of things. So be aware of the situation in Europe. But now let's go to Jupiter. Scientists baffled by perfectly geometric polygons of cyclones on Jupiter. The stable geometric arrangements of mind-blowingly huge vortices are still unexplained and may hint new physics. September 22nd, 2022, a few days ago. Jupiter. We are here to learn. I learned many things in the last few years, but at least I learned. At the poles of Jupiter, enormous cyclones swirl in neat geometric patterns that stay stable for years at a time, at phenomena that remains unexplained, and that scientists have set hints at the need for new physics. No, it doesn't. These physics and these things are discovered more than 100 years ago. The hurricane-force storms were first discovered by NASA's Juno mission, which has captured unprecedented observations of Jupiter since it arrived in orbit around the planet in 2016. In the planet's northernmost region, a central cyclone is located near the pole, while 8 others dance around at the lower circumpolar latitudes in octagonal patterns. In the south, similar cluster of 5 cyclones form the shape of a pentagon. Now scientists led by Andrew Ingersoll, who serves as the Earl C. Anthony Professor of Planetary Sciences at the California Institute of Technology, have shed new light on the strange storms that encircle Jupiter's North Pole, each of which is about as large as the continental United States. Yeah, Jupiter is very big. It's a gas giant. Their results suggest that an anticyclonic ring of winds that blow in the opposite direction of the cyclones is needed for the stability of the polygonal pattern. Yes. No. How can some winds in a system be needed in order to keep the whole system up? Doesn't make any sense. Though the team noted that other questions about the storms remain, according to a study published on Thursday in Nature Astronomy. Last week, Thursday. Really? Since 2017, the Juno spacecraft has observed a cyclone at the North Pole of Jupiter surrounded by 8 smaller cyclones arranged in a polygonal pattern. The researchers said in the study, it is not clear why this configuration is so stable or how it is maintained. It is very clear, it is a Birkeland current. Only Birkeland currents spin and they spin oppositely within the same structure. Only Birkeland currents do this, and they are totally electrical in nature. The polygons and the individual vortices that comprise them have been stable for the 4 years since Juno discovered them, the team added. The polygonal patterns rotate slowly or not at all. In contrast, Saturn has only one vortex, a cyclone, at each pole. So they are rather baffled about this. And here, whatever this is, this might be some commercial or something, I don't know. But there's a hexagon. A hexagonal is a totally natural shape, but I will talk about this once then. So, we are looking at Saturn. This is Saturn. As it says here, this is Earth. Now let's take the southern hemisphere, Antarctica. And these are the winds. And let's go a little bit up from the surface, 1000 hectopascal. And let's go a little bit more up, 700 hectopascal. I would rather like it to be in kilometers, because I really can't tell you exactly what heights we are looking at as we go up in the atmosphere. 250 hectopascals, this might be some 10 kilometers or 12 where the airplanes fly. Or it might be not, I don't know. As we go up here, that's the highest we can get. That's some 35 kilometers, I guess, above the ground. And here we have a vortex. Which is the Birkeland current. Now we go down, the vortex changes in size, and we go a little bit more down. Where was it? 850 hectopascals. Probably here we see it the best. There are those bends here. Here is one. Here is one. You could probably paint here also this kind of more or less equally spaced things here. I have been making videos about these already. But that's Earth. These are clouds which produce snow and rain. Usually, sometimes there's a lightning bolt there too. And Earth is not a gas giant. Earth is a normal planet. Let's say like that. We have a crust and water and all these kind of things. But Jupiter is a gas giant. In a way, as the sun. The sun is just like ignited at the moment. It is on. Jupiter is off. It could be ignited. I have been talking about this yesterday. If there would be all of a sudden surge in energy input into Jupiter's electric circuit, it might ignite. It might be much bigger afterwards. The spheres, they would expand and there would be much more light, maybe even heat and stuff coming from there, which also would probably change the planetary arrangement of our solar system. Because Jupiter wouldn't be probably the only one who would react to whatever more input there is, or could be, would be, will be maybe, because we have this huge 12,000 year cycle coming upon us. It's already here, started. And if there is more charge within the planet which could make it light up, which this would also mean that gravitational circumstances would change. So it would have more gravity because it has more charge. Gravity is just a part of the electromagnetic environment. It's not a cause, it's just one thing. There's radiation and light and heat and gravity. It's just among the others. It's no main force. So we have atmospheres and many layers around Earth. Many. Everybody knows. We can see different kinds of clouds we have here. Let's go just quickly check out the northern hemisphere as well. Different layers with different patterns, different energy flows. That's a very interesting energy flow here, which in a way resembles the bow shock I have been talking about since quite some time, 2 years maybe already. The bow shock of Europe, this is the surface. Now let's go up 1000 hectopascal, whatever it means. It would be very cool if they could change it into meters, or that you at least would have the possibility to change between meters and hectopascals. And remember, this thing might be connected to this, or they are all interconnected. Quite likely they are all interconnected. This goes there, and this goes here, and maybe this is connected to this one, and they are also connected underground by telluric currents and stuff like this. So there is bad weather coming into Europe, but anyway. Do we have any nice... No, let's go with that. Or maybe we have to check out the rest as well. That's the Birkeland current which connects us to the Sun. It has counter-rotating features, diachotron instabilities, which those curls are. Those other scientists are baffled about. So, once again, Jupiter is a gas giant, as is our Sun. And we are looking at the polar vortex as it is ramping up for the winter season. Let's see how strong it gets this year. Which means
the Sun is the source of all power on Earth. The sapphire sun generates energies comparable to the Sun's photosphere. Imagine being able to tap directly into the Sun for power. The Sapphire technology was designed and built to replicate the atmosphere of the Sun in a laboratory on Earth, and to test the electric sun model. These are the factors we control. These are some of the things the Sapphire Lab is now capable of.
Yeah, let me show you just still one thing about the layering. So now let's just dive into this, and I will put a link below to this video, check it out. But now let's watch about layering of atmospheres, gas giants igniting, and such.
Sapphire is mixing elements at the atomic level. What What you are looking at is a patented design that uses atomic hydrogen in a self-organized plasma.
Layering,
The
double
atomic
layers.
hydrogen interacts with the other elements in the chamber, causing nuclear reactions that are transmuting elements from one to another. And these are the elements that Sapphire produced as a consequence of the nuclear reactions. What you are looking at here is an experiment run over several hours. We were adjusting the chemistry to get different results, the aim being to explore higher energy levels. On this day, the rise in temperature over time was what we were intending, and yet it still exceeded our expectations. 3 separate analyses have been done by experts in computational fluid dynamics. All 3 predicted that with 100% input power, we would reach the thermal limit of the chamber. And for 3 years, these predictions had been accurate. But with our new adjustments, and using only 7% input power, we very quickly reached the thermal limit. It was the elemental transmutations that were responsible for the rise in temperature over time that was almost 14 times what was predicted.
Yes. They are talking about nuclear things, but they don't produce any. In fact, they can deteriorate nuclear waste. Basically, you could put it in there and it just would burn up. And then it would be radioactive anymore afterwards because it transmutates. And here we have layering. That's the electrical sun model. The electrical sun. Layers. And Jupiter could ignite. It would be much bigger afterwards. Or at least it would be much more visible than now. And it's very interesting. But anyway, I leave it here. Quakes in France, something to follow. Weather on Earth, something to follow. Science news. And see how they still tap in the dark. It's also very interesting. Thanks.